All right, and now it's time for breakdown. I did that wrong. And now it's time for breakdown. I still did that wrong. Anyways, hello and welcome to the theElpyDimension. I am your guide, Elpy, and this is worm bin number 3. Today is the 23rd of January 2025, and it's been 6 days since we have been in here. And we did no worms on the bubble mailer. There's a worm on top. Another worm on top. Definitely the bubble mailers bring the worms to the top, which makes sense because I don't, I leave this, I do put a blanket under it, but over it. But for the most part, that doesn't hold any moisture. So the bubble wrap, the plastic, has allows for condensation to build on it, and that's going to attract the worms. That's why too, if you don't already know, when you put a lid on, you'll find that condensation will build on the side of the bin, and the worms might well climb all over that. Okay, so this bin has been doing great. Let's start. They are still in the running for time for pie. It's been 32 days since we fed the pie. Last time, 6 days ago, on the 17th, I gave these guys some more food. And it was 5 or 6 days before that, 5 days on the 12th, they also got some food. So I am trying to ramp up this bin's production. And you might be like, you're crazy. Also, this bin, we're going to start following along with the breakdown of an onion that was more whole than not. It had a little bit of mold on the outside, but otherwise it was very much intact. And I was motivated to do that by an individual in AJ's Green Topics said that the worms don't like, he's put onions, and I think he even said he chopped them up and the worms didn't like them. Now, here's my response to that. I could be wrong, but I believe that it's not that the worms don't like the onions. It's that they don't like them until they like them. They don't like them until they're really starting to break down. Now, I don't know how long the onions had been in there, but is there really such thing as things that worms don't like? I've definitely experienced some apples in the last year that the worms appeared to not like. However, it seems that as any food breaks down, eventually the worms move over there. If you put a citrus in here, an orange or a grapefruit, or a lemon, it'll take them a minute, but as it breaks down, next thing you know, they'll be over there. So I've always fed onions to my bins. And I don't go and put like a whole bunch of onions, but I have had a moldy onion before and put it in here, and they go there. They go to it. So I wonder if I could talk to this person. I would say, what are the exact details? You put it in, and how long did you wait? Did you take it out, or did you, basically saying, did the worms just never ever go over to the onion? Or were you, we still have pie. Oops, sorry. Which is not a surprise to me. There's more mites on it than anything. Are those mites, are those like the white stuff? Is that like a more of a mold, or? I don't think they're white mites. I think it's, anyways, there are red mites. So that would be my question. Did you never find the worms around the onions? Or did you just keep checking back and they were never, because that's, I think what I've seen is that with the onions, this material is cold, but most of the bins are, and I'm trying not to go over to the corner behind me over there, because that's where I fed last time. But this was where the time for pie box and feeding was till I tore it up on the 6th, I think it was. But yeah, my experience is that they really... Shoot, where's the pie now? They need to, did I lose the pie? That onions need to be really well into their decomposition. And then you'll find the worms moving in. What in the world? I wanted to say, okay, I'll find it next time, but the pie has always been pretty easy to find due to the way I place it in the bin. And now all of a sudden I can't find it. Shucks. Okay. But yeah, so that's my experience with onion, and we're gonna see. Because I've not always been super observant for a while. So we're going to observe this onion. Well, I've currently lost the pie. But it's in here. We'll find it next time. There's a cocoon. Okay. So, we will move into the last feeding zone first. They got some persimmons. There's another cocoon. Oh, hey, sorry guys. Where do I pull some worms up out of? Now the reason I fed them again was because there's a pear and a... Oh, there's our pie. I knew I'd find it. Put you back over there. I gave them, along with the onion, they have got a very, very rotten pear. It was barely a pear anymore. And a apple. And the apples tend to take a long time to break down, and in recent times I've found them not to like the apple as much. So I went ahead last time and gave them a persimmon and 3 rotting passion fruit that had all been frozen, as well as shredded paper. And there we find our friends. Down here, still not quite in the numbers that we see in the other bins. Their population, these guys' population, is larger only than the blue worm bin. And the blue worm bin is only 4 years old. So, but these passion fruits aren't nearly as juicy as the persimmons I see. We'll kind of mix that all in. Okay. I can't tell you how tempted I am to feed some more. No, we'll just check back in 4 days. And I mean, because I want this population to explode, and I believe if I give them a large feeding, they will. But I think what I'll do is, well, first of all, let's go check on this onion and this apple. That went right over here. And there are worms over here. As I continue to dig down. But then again, maybe they're over here. There's some persimmon right there. Let's put some paper. The onion situation could also be just the other conditions of the bin. Did you have a lot of paper? Okay, so there are worms over here, but not because of the onion, I would say, yet. But here's our apple. And you see there weren't really, but there are onions down, or worms down here, you know, underneath the apple, we'll say. But our onion is starting to root. And it is still solid. Is that a very small cocoon? It is. Okay, well, there are worms underneath here, but I would not say that's because of the onion, because the onion is not at all broken down. I would say it's more so because of the juices that the apple is releasing, as well as the pear that was here before. So we'll go ahead and put the onion back in there. Put the apple back on top of it. Okay. Maybe we will do one last check over here. Well, basically check the whole bin. Now I'm noticing that this bin is nowhere near wet. It's nice and moist, but you guys, it's making me wish it was a little bit wetter. Oh, that scared me. I don't know what I just knocked over, but yeah, there are worms down here. Here's what's left of that mango from the 9th of December. And there are worms in and around it. So what I'm going to do, now this is what I did before. I said, gosh, you know, I want this bin to be, it's kind of too damp as opposed to moist. And I went really overboard. Some of our friends. And really, really overboard. But especially knowing this population is doing well, I am going to wet this down. Okay, and since my tendency, I'll probably only do one of these, since we just recovered this bin. I really would like to do more. I know any of you who have been watching me for any length of time know how hard it is for me to only do that one. Because they will breed better if I make it more moist. Next time. Next time. Alright. There you have it. Bin number 3 is still working on that pie. 32 days later. Alright, check back. Am I going to feed them next time? I'm probably going to give them more food and probably more moisture. And in 4 days. We'll see, 4 days a week. Okay. If you're in a tough space in your life right now, if you've been affected by the fires, or you're still recovering from the hurricanes and any other disasters, recovering from the holidays, I'm praying for you, and I hope that you have good people around you, and that you have shelter, and that you're able to find the resources that you need. Thanks so much for your time and your interest. Be safe, be well. Bye for now.